Alright, we made it to mission 5, and it's yet again time to buy something. We're gonna buy the only two moves that we need for V. And that is, first of all, I always first buy Skewer, because Skewer is the most important move here. In general, you want to have around 40k orbs here. You need a little less. But yeah, I have a little bit more right now. But Skewer is the more important part. You can still buy Quickplay later, but if you don't have enough orbs here to buy it, you should definitely take up or pick up some of the later orb caches in the route. So we're gonna buy Quickplay and Skewer. And that's it. And then you will get introduced to the lovely world of V-skips. Because that's what we need Skewer for. Alright, so we're gonna start here, and we won't actually walk that far. We're gonna go right here. Now, I'm gonna tell you the basics for V-skip. So like I already said, we need Skewer for it. Skewer is Shadow's move, is this move. It's a lock-on and the back to forwards input. So this move can push us through walls. It's also a good source of damage in a lot of the boss fights or in general encounters. Like anything that has a lot of health and stands still for a while, you want to Skewer with Shadow later on. But yeah, so how do V-skips work? We use Skewer to push us through the wall, and the way how we do it is we're gonna try to make Shadow go behind us and like face to the wall and do our Skewer, and we're gonna jump and taunt when we're on about the same height as where the Skewer will hit, and it will push us through the wall. Now that's how it normally works. Normally you would also land on the Skewer after and you can jump off it. For this specific skip here, I do something a little different. I think I'm the only person who does it, so if you don't like it, just don't do it. But what I do here is instead of using the air taunt, I Gambit. It only works for this skip. I'm gonna show you why in a second. Because like I said, usually you want to land on the Skewer, but for this skip you don't need to. Alright, so we're gonna try to line up Shadow. Come over here. And I'm gonna Gambit when the Skewer hits. Still not. They can be a bit finicky sometimes. It's been a while since I've done them, so... Alright. So... as you can see, there is a floor here. In a lot of, or in the other V-skips, you don't have a floor behind the wall. Like, we're out of bounds right now, but we can still stand. That is why you can Gambit through this wall, but you can't use it for the other skips, because for the other skips you gotta land on the Skewer, and when you Gambit through the wall, you won't do that. So this is how I do it for this skip specifically. You don't have to. You can also just do the air taunt. Let me go back to the checkpoint to show you the air taunt way, because that's how most people do it. Alright, so we're gonna go up to the wall here normally. We're gonna try to align Shadow. Oh, come on. Jump, taunt, and he's gonna push us through. And we're standing on the Skewer right now. That's why it's not going away. So yeah, that's how you would normally do it, how most people do it. Alright, and then... now I lost my orientation. Alright, so after we've gone through the wall, like usually we'd be facing this way, right? We just jump to the left and hold to the left, and we're gonna land here. And we're just gonna turn to the left again and walk along here. You want to stick to the right side, because otherwise you're gonna fall off, because the floor isn't actually a floor. Gonna jump over here. Come here to the... I think it's a black line. This black line. We basically want to jump along it. and let ourselves fall a little. And at some point we will... Like, the way I see it is... There is like some floaty island kind of thingies in the air. I usually want to be about the same height. And Gambit with my lock-on on it. But essentially you just gotta wait until your lock-on appears. This skip can be a little finicky because there's like invisible collisions and there's places where you can accidentally spawn enemies. And if you do that, you have to restart the checkpoint because you can't do the skip anymore afterwards. So let's see if I can get it. So you want to jump to the right, do the Gambit here, and yeah, it worked. So what we're essentially doing when we Gambit is we lock onto this barrel and we Gambit towards the barrel. Like, it's the same move as when you want to finish an enemy off. Alright, now important part is don't go to the left side. If you go to the left side, it will still trigger this the encounter in this room, which we don't want. So we're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna shoot the barrel, or not. Usually you need to shoot it, otherwise it'll lock on, and just do our... Oh wait, we don't actually need to do that movement here. I forgot, we have our cat. But the cat might not spawn. I forgot. And then we skip the whole level, and we're at Geryon. We're gonna pick up the DT there. And we're gonna do the boss fight. Geryon can be quite tricky, because he just moves around a lot. The way I do it is, at the beginning of the fight, I Gambit towards him, then I get my pets out, and then I just try to get a Skewer in with Shadow. In general, you want to try to get Skewers in, you want to try to no damage this mission, ideally, but you don't have to. And just DT your pets. Like, DT your pets, try to get Skewers in. That's essentially it. When Geryon does the move where he, like, stands still and does, like, a bunch of, like, lightning strikes, you usually want to do this. Because V has a lot of iframes. Like, he's basically invincible if you just keep doing this. And it builds a lot of DT. So you get a lot of free DT out of it to DT your pets again after. Alright. Also over here is a DT orb that we're gonna pick up. Okay, he's standing still, so we're gonna skewer him. He may... No, he's not doing the electricity attack, he's doing something else. Now he's gonna do it. We can get a Skewer first, I think. Or not. So you see how much DT this builds. But yeah, this fight just sometimes goes really badly, and you can't really do a lot about it. I'm gonna try to get my other pet back. And we're doing the electricity move. Like, this is a pretty slow fight right now. And of course I'm gonna read my book whenever I can. This is a really slow fight right now. Anyway, you get the idea. I hope.
But of wisdom, no clock can measure.
You can also use Nightmare to finish him off at the very end if you have enough DT. And you think it's worth it, but it's kind of a gamble because you don't know which entrance Nightmare's gonna make, and sometimes he just spawns like on the other end of the stage and then doesn't really help. If he does like the comet entrance, it's usually the best because that does damage and usually hits the enemy right away. But yes, that's it for mission 5 and the first V-skip.